Your Honor,
Yes,
I have two inmates, Munoz Aaron and Ortega Robert. Who would you like to see first? Because they're on different floors, ma'am.
Robert
Ortega.
Ortega.
Robert Ortega, ready, Your Honor.
I'm gonna be going up to another floor, ma'am, okay?
Okay, we're just waiting for the prosecutor, and there he is.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. DeCotes.
I think me and Mr. Librado have Mr. Ortega.
Right, they're going up to get him now.
Yeah, whoever you want to address you on it, Judge.
Well, you can address your PWI case, and he can address the one case that he has. And then there are two other deceptive business practices cases that he has not hired anyone, and he did not qualify on those.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm here. Thank you.
I yield to the coach who is hired. I was court appointed. Was not allowed to withdraw, and I'm still court appointed.
Correct. And we'll see if he's going to hire Mr. DeCotes on these two or not.
Thank you, Judge. I'm here.
Okay, just waiting for the jail to get him. Ms. Valeria, we're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Ortega as soon as they bring him down.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Have a seat, sir.
All right. Court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Robert Ortega, cause numbers 2019-0C08460, 2020-0C08895, 2022-0C03821, and 2022-0C03806. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court
and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of council?
Assistant County Attorney Giselle Silerio for the state, ready to proceed.
Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Luis Labrado for Robert Ortega in cause number 2019, 0008460 only, ready.
Carl DeCoste for Robert Ortega on his DWI ready.
All right, you are Robert Ortega.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony given this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ortega, you have two cases where you have not hired a lawyer. Do you plan to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is that going to be?
At this moment, I don't know. I never had those other two cases. They were just,
You have two new deceptive business practices cases.
yes. I didn't know about those, so I'm not prepared for an attorney at this moment, but I am going to hire some.
All right, then let's go ahead. Mr. DeCote, do you want to present your bond reduction?
Sure, Your Honor. May it please the court. I know Robert Ortega in passing. He hired me, but it's because I would see him at the cafe and stuff. He has a very nice son that he just sent off to the military. This DWI, I believe the state likely wants probation. This is where he's found like inside a Circle K and his car is outside and he has like an open container in the car and some beer in the car. So it's not the strongest DWI case because he wasn't pulled over or anything. And we were thinking about fighting it, but with all this other stuff going on, he's probably going to have to ultimately take a deal. I think the state and the county will likely want probation so that he can pay these people back. And we're really hoping that after about a week in jail, it's like, look, you need to get your blower. You need to do what the judge wants you to do. He's an older man. I think he finally understands what he needs to do. We're hoping you let him out, Judge, and I appreciate your time. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Loberado.
Your Honor, I have not seen or heard from Mr. Ortega since before March of 2021. I can ask the court that should the two new cases be allowed bail to include PR bond, that Mr. Ortega be reinstated to his current bond with an addition of a PR components that may include increased supervision such as weekly reporting. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. State, do either of you have anything?
Yes, Your Honor. Like defense counsel stated, he does have 3 pending deceptive practice, the pending DWI. He has a previous DWI. The blow on this DWI is pretty high. It's 0.248. I'm worried that Mr. Ortega, pending all the cases he has and the DWI and the high blow that he has, that he's a danger to the community.
All right, Ms. Hilario?
Yes, Your Honor, we would be in agreement with having him being placed on PR bond on our cases, as it seems that most of the violations that he's incurred have to do specifically with his issues with the alcohol monitoring device. However, we would be in agreement with having him raise his supervision level to reporting weekly, so that we can make sure that we keep track of him and don't lose him as it appears has occurred in the past.
Well, actually, the violations on the DWI were from March 2021. Those were resulting in some skips. The current violations were picking up the 2 new DTPA cases. So he's out on bond for deceptive business practices, and he continues in the same track, picking up 2 other cases of allegedly stealing people's money without doing the work promised. Is there anything further from council?
Just
No,
real
Your-
quick. I'm sorry.
Yes, from council on the deceptive trade practices, it is my belief that the best interest and the interest of justice for Mr. Roberto Ortega are best served if my case is transferred to his hired attorney on the other 2 cases, which are same and similar to mine, that is deceptive trade practices.
Well, if he hires them on your case, then you can get off. Until then, you represent them.
Not a problem. I just needed some insight into my getting off.
Yes, if Mr. Ortega decides to hire one attorney on all his DTPA cases, that would probably be the best plan of action. But until then, you are appointed on the 2019 case and will stay. Anything further? Anyone else?
If I could please address you, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Judge. So Mr. Ortega has a roofing company, and that's probably where the DTPA cases come from. I don't mind taking things over. Hopefully Bobby will hire me on those and we'll be able to wrap everything up. I do want to say that through his roofing company, he lives with and takes care of his mom, who's getting up in years and needs help. Also, Bobby's health has not been doing so well. And I just want to let Your Honor know that, you know, he takes care of his mom and he has his own health issues. We're hoping to get him out, Your Honor, whatever you think. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Send me a substitute motion, Carl.
Okay.
Okay, again, Mr. Ortega, if you are out on bond for deceptive business practices, you have no business picking up new cases. You obviously have some kind of drinking issue with a blow that high, and this being your second DWI. The only reason I'm going to reduce your bonds is that you can get out, get to work, honestly get to work, and start saving some money to pay these people off in the event that you are eventually convicted or plead guilty on these cases. But if you pick up one more case, any kind of case, or there are any more skips on your interlock, or you decide that you're going to allegedly go work in Juarez and not take your interlock, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately, and you will get arrested and stay in jail until all of these cases are resolved. On the deceptive business practices, I'm going to issue a split bond of 1,000 surety on each case and 1,000 PER on each case. On the DWI, I'm issuing a $5,000 surety and a $1,000 PR. You are to continue with the ignition interlock. If you're driving, it goes on the vehicle. If you are not driving, it'll be a mobile unit. You are to be tested for breath and urine analysis on occasion. Keep proper contact with CJC and your attorneys. Attend Alcoholics Anonymous at least 2 times per week. Commit no new offenses. And report to CJC or PR bonds as they instruct you to do so. Any violations of those conditions, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from Labrado.
Nothing from me, Judge. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nothing
Okay.
further from the state, Your Honor.
Okay,
Nothing further from the state.
then
Thank
you
you.
all may be excused if that's all you have.
Good day, everybody.
Bye.
Let me
Thanks.
have
you,
Aaron
sir.
Munoz, please.
Right, sir. I'm gonna be moving up to another floor, Your Honor, okay?
Okay, then I'm gonna take somebody from the annex.
Yes, ma'am.
Annex, do you have Mr. Charles Bell?
Yes, ma'am, it's coming right up.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Norris.
Good
They are
morning, Your
getting your
Honor.
client for us.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Your Honor.
They're getting your client for us.
Oh, thank you, Judge. Good to see you.
Likewise. All right. Court calls the case State of Texas versus Charles Bell, cause number 2022-0C0-2039.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council Judge's statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed.
Robin Norris for Mr. Bell, Your Honor. We're ready.
You are Charles Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Charged with the offense of evading arrest alleged to have occurred in El Paso County, Texas, April 14, 2022. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court will find you guilty, sentence you to 150 days plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
You may be dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
May I have Mr. Thornton, please?
They're gonna send some papers for you to sign right now. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Olivas.
Hi, Omar. How are you?
Good morning.
Judge, while we wait for Mr. Thornton to come on up, I'd like to advise you that he has previously been awarded a PR bond of $50,000 out of the 243rd. I respectfully request the judge to follow the same bond on Mr. Thornton.
Is that on the arson?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was it?
50,000.
Okay. All right, court calls the case of State of Texas versus Jeremy Thornton, cause number 2022-0C0-2923.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council Judge's statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed.
Good morning, Honor. Jesus Felias, on behalf of Mr. Thornton, we are ready as well.
You are Jeremy Thornton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What do you have, Mr. Olivas?
Judge, it will be a question and answer. If
Go
you want to
ahead.
proceed with the bond hearing, otherwise I would reiterate my request that the judge put him under the same conditions and PR bond that he was previously awarded in the 243rd. That being a full PR bond on $50,000 bond.
Go ahead, Mr. Olivas.
Mr. Thornton, where were you born?
Bluefield, West Virginia,
Okay, how old are you, sir?
35.
Okay, and when you were arrested, where were you working, sir?
I was working at FRB Fence Company,
How long have you been working there?
about 3 years.
Sir, and if the judge allows you bond on this case, what assurances can you make her that you're not gonna get in trouble again and show up to all the hearings?
Mr. Levis, Your Honor, I'll be going to UBH, for for however long that they had me there. I'll be there, and then from there, I'm going to go back to work. I just want to get my mind right for my family and myself more than anything.
Now, you've been diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder, depression and PTSD, is that correct?
Yes,
And that's been the basis for you getting into trouble again and again, correct?
yes,
And you're making assurances to this court that you all attend those issues with mental health specialists, correct?
yes, yes, I do.
In fact, you know that that was one of the conditions that the 243rd District Court imposed on you, is that as soon as you get out, you attend to your needs. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, it is.
I believe that's all I have, Judge. Pass the witness.
Mr. Silva?
Your Honor, the state does see that Mr. Thornton has extensive criminal history dating back from 2014, a DWI, a theft, escape from custody, possession in 2021, open container in 2022, and he has 5 pending cases. So I'll defer to the court, but the state does feel Mr. Thornton, if left, and does not treat his condition, he is a danger to the community.
All right. I also noted that he does have another 22 a criminal trespass case in the court that's pending, that he's still out on PR bond.
That's correct.
Can anyone tell me where the alleged arson took place?
I'm not privy to that information, Judge. Let me look at my file.
I can get it for you, Your Honor. Give me a second. I just need to log into the case.
He also has a couple of P-file cases that are with the JMAG, which
Right.
are up to.
Most of
That's
those
what
are
you're
possession of controlled substance.
For some reason, I kind of think it was a car lot, but don't quote me on that, Judge. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
And Judge, can you tell me if he's been arraigned in this case?
I don't know. Rihanna, can you tell us? Probably not.
One moment, Judge.
That's something I
Okay.
gotta take care of through them.
No, he
Yes,
has not.
please. Okay. And can somebody
Dad?
send me the bond order on the arson case, please?
Just.
Your
Judge,
Honor,
Yes, sir.
so I
the
have
address-
the location for the building. It was located on 3351 George Dieter Suite A. El
Correct.
Paso County.
Do you know what business it is?
It does not, the indictment does not say the business.
No.
It just says that
Okay.
the building located at 3351 George Dieter.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. Mr. Thornton, I'm going to release you one last time on a PR bond, and that is only so that you can get your treatment with UBH.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any further violations, you'll have a curfew, you'll be reporting, you're not to use any illegal substances, you're not to commit any new offenses, you're to keep in constant communication with your attorney and with the PR bonds office. Any violation of those conditions, a warrant for your arrest will issue. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Jeremy, just one real quick thing. Jeremy, you still have 2 cases, like we gotta go to JMAG and then 10 those, you get bonds on those, okay?
Yes.
So hang tight. Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Thank you. May I
Yep.
have Mr. Davenport, please?
We are. Not bad. That's phone, right?
All right, court calls a case of the state of Texas versus Derek Davenport, cause number 2021-0C01810.
Not it. Your Honor, this is Mr. Gordon at the end.
And in
Pardon?
compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
Okay, may I have announcement of counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Josh Avila for Mr. Davenport. The defense is ready.
You are Derek Davenport.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, Mr. Davenport?
Yes, ma'am.
Charged with the offense of theft alleged to have occurred May 20th, 21 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court will follow the state's recommendation at this time, find you guilty, sends you to 180 days in jail plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. This case will run concurrent with 2022-0D01420 and cause numbers 2022-0C00996, 2022-0C02459, and 2022-0C01002 will be dismissed. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be excused if that's all you have. And lastly, court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Aaron Munoz, cause numbers 2022-0C02045, 2022-0C02348, and 2022 P file 08228.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Silva for the state. We're ready to proceed.
And Josh Avila for Mr. Munoz. The defense is ready.
You are Aaron Munoz.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear from testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, before we get started, I would like to point out that the defendant currently has a hold. It looks like it's from Brighton, Colorado. So if he gets released here, he is going to Colorado.
I was unaware of that hold, Your Honor. At this, I wasn't aware, Judge, of that hold. If that hold does exist, Your Honor, we will be okay with foregoing the bond while we figure out what that hold is about and where he's going to be going. If the court feels more comfortable resolving the cases as opposed to him going to Colorado.
Right. I don't want to release him, then have him go to Colorado and then have no shows on our cases.
Yes,
so his jailing does show he has that hold. So I'm going to give you some time to look into it. And then if you decide that that has been taken care of, we can address his bonds at that time. And hopefully by then that P file will be filed.
Copy, Your Honor. Will do.
All right. Then anything further on Mr. Munoz at this time?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. I will get in contact with your coordinator once I get updates and we can proceed on the bond hearing.
Okay, great. Then everybody may be excused. Have a good weekend. My staff, I'll see you all tomorrow. Please send me that PR bond order on Mr. Thornton.
I just sent it to you, Judge.
Great. Thank you, Glenn.
Yes.